Can you tighten the top a little bit more?
Oh, the top. You know,
Take the C clamp.
free up that C clamp.
You're waiting to see it.
All right.
Yeah.
I've done that before. Tried to type it.
Oh, really? Pulling
Oh yeah.
truck?
Yeah.
Let go. Everybody let go.
We still got wrinkle on your side.
Yeah. Well, that's what these cinder blocks are for.
Okay.
Where's that canoe weigh, Bob?
Maybe. Well, with the canvas on it,
Good.
maybe a little over 100 pounds.
That much?
Yeah. I carry it by myself.
Those wheel kits you can put wheels on the one end and you can roll it one person to one side and roll it anywhere.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Bob Churchill, and we're going to try and put canvas on this old canoe. And the canvas is 1940, 42 in that range. It was made in Huron, Canada by the Picard Brothers. I think he was Captain Picard's cousin from Star Trek. All right. The wood on the boat is original except for the two bow pieces that I put in. And the webbing on the seat also is that old, and I'm thinking it's about 67, 68 years old. This is the second time that I put the canvas on. The first time I bought the canoe and it was twisted. So what I did was I hung cement bags and 1-gallon jugs to try and twist it back straight. So that's the first thing I had to do. And when I bought it, it had no canvas on it, and there was some loose boards, and it was a mess. As it was, I paid $300 for it, which I thought was a pretty good deal. We've got about $300 worth of materials now to put on the canvas. The finish, which I'll show you what it looks like. Well, you see what it looks like in those pieces. That's paint on top of the filler, and the filler takes up to 3 weeks to dry at 70 degrees. So when I did this in my shop 20 years ago, we did this outside, like between two trees. I brought it inside, and then I jacked the heat up as high as I would go so I could cook it faster. It'll be dry to the touch when we put the stuff on. It'll be dry to the touch the next day, but it takes 3 weeks to harden. Then you put another coat on and wait another 3 weeks. So another coat, another 3 weeks, until the canvas disappears. And you can see in these pieces, there's no roughness on the canvas, and yet you can see it on the other side.
Is that pretty much self-leveling?
Yes. Yeah, it needs to have some light sanding, but mainly hand sanding, no machine sanding. You just, some. So what we're going to do, I'm using. Any questions?
Yeah, Bob. What's the primer on your boat?
The primer?
Yeah.
It's going to. I'll show you. It's in a can. It's almost like mayonnaise, and you spread it on. You can't brush it on. You spread it on and let it dry for 3 weeks, and then lightly sand it and put another coat. And you keep putting coats on until the canvas disappears.
Is that what's on it now?
No.
There's nothing on it now.
On the boat.
An undercoating.
Yeah, the undercoating.
Oh, the undercoating. It's just white paint. It's a marine grade paint. I just wanted to make it so that it'll slide easier. There's no purpose. I didn't have to do that, but I just felt like doing it.
When they originally built this thing, what kind of coating did they have on the canvas? Do you know?
I don't know. Probably similar to this stuff. I mean, this stuff's been around for a long time. I've got a book in there. I've got 3 books in there on canoes. One of them is on wood canvas canoes, and that's the book. That's the book that I use the most, and that's how I figured out how to do all this. They have a picture of it in the shop with poles pushing down to get it tight and all that, and we're gonna do that.
It just seems like it would hold up to abrasion pretty
Actually, I dropped this canoe off the ceiling of my garage onto a metal pole, smack dab in the middle. Didn't break the canvas, didn't break a board.
way.
Yeah, it's very strong.
Wow.
Now, without this, you can probably put your hand through it, but with this on, it makes it 10 times stronger. Any other questions? All right, well, what we're going to do is take this clamp and I'm going to wrap it around and then use stainless steel staples. Now, what they use is copper tacks, which I'm going to use on the bows, but what we're going to do here, it's just easier to do it with the staple gun. And these are stainless steel staples, so I get them from a boat supply place. And then these are bronze coated ring nails, and they'll go on the bow when we bring this over.
Up another 4 to 6 inches if you want to be centered.
Well, what it doesn't have to be centered. This is all going to be scrap anyway. What I'm trying to think of what I'm going to do. I probably need 2 more 2x4s to clamp this closer.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Any other questions before I get started? All right.
So 2 2x4s and a couple of clamps.
Yeah, and then we can move, them down there. I've got the clamps in the truck. If we can just get 2 2x4s to.
See what I can find.
What you do is just basically start in the middle. Now this gets covered. There'll be a board here to hide the staples. You won't see the staples, and then there'll be a board on top too. And they used whatever they had. I'm using mahogany just because it looks nicer.
Yeah.
We're gonna need about.
Yeah, what we want to do is clamp these up as close to the bow as we can get. So we'll put a clamp at the bottom and then just pull the whole thing tight.
Bob, what do you when you build those boats? What's your choice of wood like for the keel? What do you?
Well, the ones I use on the rowboats were plywood.
Plywood.
Marine plywood. You get 2 sheets of.
Is that plywood?
No. This I believe is it's either cedar or spruce.
Oh, okay.
Sitka spruce. A lot of the boats are with Sitka spruce. Well, let me do some more of this. I'm trying to do this right on top of the ribs.
Bob, where do you get your camera?
Northwoods Canoe.
It's a marine camera?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. They've got different grades. This is the higher grade because I'm only going to do this time. I'm not going to do it again. When we did it 20 years ago, the only reason I have to do it now is because both bows stuck out from the canvas and I didn't know it, and so it rotted. And now I keep it indoors, so that'll never happen again. Yeah, I know.
It's got a fold at the bottom.
Oh, down here. Okay, let's see if we can pull those wrinkles out. I'm going to pull them out down here if we can.
I can move it from the top. Pull it out.
All right, now.
Got one right here. It's pretty good size.
Yeah. I can pull it out. Yeah.
Okay, it's good there.
Okay.
Got it? All right.
Yeah, I think I can pull it out. Let's put one in here. I'm sorry, what?
What do you do with the excess on the bottom?
We're going to cut it off. We're going to cut this off.
Right.
And then I'm going to take this piece and wrap it around and then tack it, cut the excess off, and then do the same thing the other way. We're going to try and do one bow today. Still not getting that out.
Need more weight?
Is it time for a sparkler too?
Yeah.
Finally, the older I get, the less I care what everybody thinks.
better if the canoe goes down rather than the canvas coming up?
Yeah, either way.
Either way? Okay. Oh, much better. Oh, yeah, that did it right there.
Okay. Well, I'm not worried about the staples.
Need to tighten the bottom.
Yeah. Much better. Much better. I'm glad you saw that.
We're going to have to pull staples.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that leather strip for the webbing?
This?
Yeah.
It's some. I think it's cow gut or something. It doesn't.
Not rawhide.
No. That's what I first thought it was, but that's original. Shit.
All the way back to here.
Yeah. Well, I was going to take those outside so people can see them.
Oh, this?
Okay, this is the boat that I built for my daughter. It's I'll pass it around, and this is when we did the canvas 20 years ago. I'm the younger guy in that picture. All right, we all set now?
What's better?
Yeah,
Much better.
much better.
What we can do is we can push down on it while you go to pull.
Yeah, I need to cut some of this off though. I need a pair of scissors to.
Oh, okay. You're a good deal younger. Graduated in '61.
Is that 1861? Bring it up there. I'm going to tell you.
It's still too low. I just need enough to get it over the. Yeah. Am I pushed down?
Right off to this. My first.
All right. All right, let me come over to the other side.
You're on the other side of town.
No, where did I staple it? Right here.
That Grand Union was the only choice. Well, you have the Grand Union across the street. That was
It's not like I haven't held things while you stapled before.
What do we do?
We did a lot of couches at
Oh, yeah.
remember?
Like the basketball.
Just get the canvas, not my finger.
Yeah. some on the other side. If I had to count my hours, I'd go insane, I think. Oh man, fantastic. Yeah.
It's just solid.
It's Picard Brothers in Huron, Canada. They've made very few, and there's only two that I know that still exist. This one and the one in Memphis. The only reason I know that is because I called the guy. And actually, he called me the first time, and he said, "I've got a Picard, and I think you have one." I said, "Yeah," and he described. I said, "I think I have one." So we talked about it, and sure enough, he's got one. So there's only two. And then maybe they made 100. Maybe they didn't even make that many. They didn't make very many. There was a small, just two brothers making canoes. There's a brass plate on here that somebody stamped over it, but if you look real close, it's it is a Picard. See, it's Picard. Yep. P-I-C-A-R-D. C-A-R-D. Yeah. Lewis, and then Canvas Canoes, and then Huron, Canada.
Looks like he put his ID in there or something.
Yeah, somebody stamped it.
He didn't know.
Down the road.
Yeah. A profane person.
So do you use West or System 3?
I use Mass.
Mass?
It's M-A-S. He was asking about epoxy. You all heard of West System, and you can get it. There was two guys who were chemists who were allergic to West. They broke out in a rash, so they designed their own epoxy, and I like it because it's called Mass, M-A-S. If you ever need to buy it, southerncrown.com. They're in, the man who was running it has since passed away recently, but his wife's running the business, and she's in McDonough. Southern Crown Boat Works.
Sullivan Friendship Road at that marine place. One time.
Yeah, there's a boat, yeah, that's West. But anyway, she has the Mass. What I like about Mass, two things. One is it's the same price, I mean, it's very expensive. But first of all, it's safer to use because these guys designed it, but also it lays flatter. It's self-leveling, and I really like the way it sands, and you sand in between coats, and I mean, you can't beat it. All the boats I build now, I use, and I buy that stuff by the gallon. And it's a two-part and two, like I'll mix up an ounce of the resin and a half an ounce of the hardener. I use medicine cups unless I'm doing something really big. I use medicine cups because I also have fillers that I put into it.
And how long does that take to cure when you're doing work?
The next day I can go back in and do more work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It'll get tacky within a few hours, but I usually just let it overnight. We need to cut this off too.
Yep.
It's up there.
wrinkles.
Yeah, I know. We're working on it.
Dogs like this.
Pull that one good.
Yeah.
Looks like it's pulling
There, we still got.
at the bottom.
I'm probably gonna have to pull a couple of these out.
You want to come up and do the front first?
Yeah. Let's.
Which is the stern, anyway.
Depends on how many people are in the boat.
True.
I'll explain that in just a second.
Oh, I know why.
He was asking which is the front and which is the back of the canoe. And I said it depends on how many people are in the boat. If one person's in the boat, that's the bow, and the person sits here. If two people are in the boat, one person sits with their feet up this way and feet back there. So the reason this seat is here is so that you can paddle it by yourself, and you would sit this way. But if there are two people in the boat, you'd sit this way. So it depends on, the bow depends on how many people are in the boat. All right, there's a wrinkle here, but I think we can probably pull it out from that side. That got 90% of it out.
You want this one out too?
You're probably going to need it out.
You're going to have to take the whole side off.
Don't worry about that.
Okay, that's this. Wasn't going to take it until he said so. Yeah, we'll have to run it in here. I guess you'll pull that out when it switches it.
Yeah.
It's really no different than upholstery. You get it as good as you can to start with, and then you have to pull it locally.
Yeah.
But that's a tool we used to stretch that with.
Yeah, I bought it from the same company I bought the canvas from.
Because I thought I'd seen something like that either.
Welders have tools that are similar.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's it. I was trying to.
Yeah, because I thought I'd seen them before.
Yeah, but this one looks like it was designed for canvas.
I need a block here so I can.
Just give you a leverage point.
All right, now what we're going to do is when we get the other side stapled as far as we can, then we're going to cut this off and do the tips. Yeah.
Did you really? Yeah.
Huh?
Take the pressure off my knee for a second.
Yeah. Just a little bit now. I don't want you getting hurt worse.
30%.
Use a precision tensioning device, huh?
That's where the canvas is taut.
Yeah. All right.
I think we've run out of. You want to hit this side?
That staple right there is going into this board.
Where are the nails? Oh, this is what I'm looking for.
Pretty good. Let's see this one.
Get too. I don't want to loosen that until we're ready, so I want to go ahead and. I don't need a lot of strength here now, because I'm going to put a board here and screw it, and it'll be screwed into these ribs. So I don't need. The pressure's not going out this way. Pressure's going this way. So I want to make sure that when I put those things on, and then a piece of brass goes on top of that. Move that for a second. Yeah, I'll pull that out later.
Back in They did a class on it a number of years ago, and it took so long to do. When did you buy one of these?
Almost done. Just pull the board out.
Pull the board back away from it. Okay, there we go.
Depending on the job, that could be really good because you can sit through on the hours and
Yeah, like yesterday after. Well,
yeah. Like I said, depending on the job.
Somebody would release the tension down at that.
Yeah, I was giving everybody a hard time. When Kentucky were playing each other.
Last weekend, yeah. Open the newspaper or turn on my computer.
Now we're going to leave these on.
As always, great,
This can actually come off when you're loose. I'm going to leave this one on, but all the rest of this can come off.
You want to cut this?
Yeah, we'll cut it in a minute.
Organization that is authorized by the Boy Scouts to do part of the legal presentation. Notify next time.
Can you just throw that in the back of my truck, please?
Do you need to go more? Okay.
No, that's fine for now.
Why? I don't know what it was. Okay, well, it goes.
He was about as high as. Okay, you want to grab?
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah. All right, we'll get a block to. Yeah, let's move it a little bit further in.
I was going to say that clamp is.
Okay.
This one in further too?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've been 25 years.
Okay. I'll get a block to put here. Yeah, there you go.
With all the jewelry.
All right.
I can make computers
Ever since I was, I couldn't remember. He was one right after
This is a bottom one off?
Yeah.
Really nice, huh?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, that's one of the cool things about the Eagle Center on this side.
Now, once I get the bows done, what I do is go back with a torch and just torch all this and get all the fuzz off, which will also tighten it up even more. I think we did a good job, though. This is going to be great. You know what to do this again, and you also know what not to do. So it's a dual lesson. You get both sides of it.
Is there, how do these ribs get formed? Is there a form that you start with?
Yeah, they build a form for it, and then they of course this was wet when they steamed them. And then bent them in, and like I was saying earlier, if I wanted to put this rib in, I would get the new rib and bend it here and clamp it to both sides.
Sure.
Because it's going to expand, then I'd bring it down and put it in where it belongs.
What's the form made of?
Just regular wood.
Okay. But it's obviously it's
Right.
formed.
The blue book that says wood canvas canoes, it's on the workbench out in there. I've got 3 books on canoes, but that's the best one. Take a look at it. It'll show you how to build a form. It'll show you how to do this. The guy says in the beginning of the book, says, give me a rib and I'll build you a canoe around it. But do you really want to spend that kind of money? And there's also a guy up in Maine doing birch bark canoes. They're about $7,000 or $8,000 to begin with, to start. They're very expensive. There aren't any big birch trees left, so he has to patch it all together. But once let me get that compound, I'll show you what it looks like. Most of the solvent's down in the bottom, but that's what it looks like. And this is what's on those pieces I sent around. This goes on first, and basically what it does is it seals. Yeah. And what we're going to do is pull this over like this and tack it. And I can pull it pretty tight this way, okay? And then we'll cut this edge off, and then we'll do the same thing on this side. So we can go ahead and do that now. Huh?
That's not going to matter.
No, I'm going to fix it from the inside. That happened on transport, but I can come in from the inside. And then when I get this on here, you won't see it, but the other thing is I can inject epoxy to it. I've got a needle where I can eject it. I'll put a block on the other side, put a needle in. It's easier to fix when the canvas on it, actually. All right. You got a job. You can hold that.
See how long the tacks are? Yeah. See the ring shanks on them? See the rings? Yeah. Do you think which is going to hold the staple that only has to in that bar? Definitely. Okay.
No, that's all right.
Could you hold this? We don't want a lot of pressure on it. We just want enough to get the wrinkles out.
I had to work. My wife did a paragraph.
I didn't get it when I heard it.
No, unless you want me to.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why you get my job. You got to publish all of it. From the pilot, I didn't tell. And he just kept going.
We're talking about the government taking
And so it got people's attention.
different words.
Hell with it.
Ah, brass tacks.
Not brass.
Another bronze.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. It's really just a confusion.
They're on the assembly table. My wrist.
That's too big.
Yeah, most of the swelling's gone. A little bit there was. Give me something.
There's a couple down here. Gosh, his nails are bending. We have the clamp.
usually put it upside down?
Well, then I've got to bend down to get it up here.
Oh, you turn it over. You turn it down to here, and then you turn it back over.
Yeah. Staple gun. Back here. If I get some staples in, I'm probably get the nails in later.
I don't foresee myself spending time paddling around the lake. Oh, you're almost there?
Okay. I just saw it wiggling. I'd hate for it to fall off the sawhorse.
Sea base.
Okay.
We did rims around.
Where's my pocket knife? Ah, here it is.
Does that seam require any
What seam?
Seam that you're about to have there.
No, I'm going to fold over it, and then that stuff will cover it. That canvas stuff will cover it. Yeah. Let's get rid of some of this. Yeah. There's a wrinkle in there. See if you
I got it.
can you get it tighter? There we go. Oh, missed. I can see it better this way. Pull this as tight as you can off. Okay. that's exactly how it's supposed to look. Now I'll come back now and put that stuff on it.
You're gonna flame off the.
Huh?
You're gonna flame off the lid.
Yeah, we're going to take the torch to it, and it'll burn all this stuff off, and it'll be a nice fitting. Now I'll bring this back for show and tell down at the shop when I get it done, but it'll be a couple of months because I've got several projects I've got to finish before this. I told my wife, I said, I'm going to do the class, but don't worry, I'm not going to spend the next week in the shop doing this. It's got to. I'll take the torch to it and clean it up some, but that's about all I'm going to do for another week or two. So that just tells you that I do other things besides boats, although boats are my passion. My wife says obsession, but I say passion. It's a nicer word.
That's right.
It's all a matter of perspective.
I'm gonna have to leave here in a few minutes.
Okay. And that's all we're going to get done today.
Suddenly get cheaper just